Yo, what's up everyone, Starry Ray here, and welcome back to another NFL predictions video. There was a lot of stories going into week 13, but coming out of week 13, one of the biggest stories of the week, to me at least, is Jimmy G and the 49ers. Jimmy G broke his ankle in the Dolphins game, in the first drive of the game for him, and yeah, he's out for the season now. And this is very huge because the 49ers were one of the better teams in the NFC. They have the great defense. We've been talking about their defense all season, so for them to be without two of their they have two quarterback injuries. They had Trey Lance, who was starting the season. He got injured, so Jimmy G was in. Now Jimmy G is hurt. Now they have to go with Purdy. So yeah, the 49ers are in a very, very tough spot. I don't even, that's just so rare to happen where two quarterbacks get hurt in a season and you got to go with the third string. That's just kind of crazy. And now we got to see what their season looks like. So yeah, for me, that was the biggest story coming out of week 13. Also in that game too, it looked awful. I knew this was going to be a tough game for the Dolphins, but I didn't think they were going to look that bad. I didn't think they weren't going to be able to score. I thought it would be kind of close, and it wasn't close at all. Even with Purdy, the 49ers looked a lot better. So yeah, week 13 was kind of crazy. We'll talk about it more when we get into week 14 matchups. But before we do that, make sure you like and subscribe so you do not miss out on any more NFL predictions videos. Alright, so we start off with Thursday Night Football, the Raiders versus the Rams. The Rams lost a really close game to the Seahawks. They lost by 4 points. It was a really close game. I thought they had a chance to win it, but they couldn't do it in the fourth quarter. I gotta give credit to the Rams defense though. They didn't lay down. They were really putting up a fight with the Seahawks. And the Raiders are coming off a very close game as well against the Chargers. They won that game by 1 touchdown. It was very close as well. It came down to the fourth quarter. And so for this game, I'm gonna be picking the Raiders. Even though the Rams played decent against the Seahawks, the Raiders are just playing a little better. I feel like they're playing a little better. They have more momentum, and I feel like I just don't think I can pick the Rams or really expect the Rams to play 2 back-to-back good games. Even though they lost, they played pretty good, but I don't think they're going to be able to do that again against the Raiders. So yeah, give me the Raiders for this one, but I think this one, it might be close. It might be close, but I still like the Raiders for this matchup. Now we move on to the Sunday games. The first game on this list is the Jets versus the Bills, a rematch game and a divisional game. The last time these two teams matched up, Zach Wilson was the quarterback for the Jets. Now they have moved on to Mike White. And last week against the Vikings, Mike White didn't look the best. He looked decent, he looked good, but he still wasn't good enough to beat the Vikings. It was a close game though. I do think Mike White is a better quarterback than Zach Wilson though, so I was wrong about that. And the Bills are coming off that Thursday night win against the Patriots. So for this one, I'm going to be picking the Bills. I just don't see the Jets being able to sweep this matchup. However, I do give them a huge chance with their defense because we know that their defense is good. I think this one's really going to come down to quarterback play and offense, and who's going to be able to score the ball. And I feel like the Jets, this is a divisional game, a high pressure game, and I don't know if Mike White can really step up to the occasion. We got to see it. He did decent against the Vikings, but this one is a different matchup. The Bills are a lot better than the Vikings, so yeah, this one's going to be very interesting to see, but I'm going to be taking the Bills and Josh Allen with this one just because I feel like they have a little bit more offensive power just right now to score more consistently. So yeah, give me the Bills. After that is another divisional game, the Browns versus the Bengals. Deshaun Watson made his return last week against the Texans, and in that game he looked okay. He just looked okay. He has rust. He's pretty rusty. I didn't really expect it because I didn't think the Texans were going to be that good to really be a challenge for him, but he did look rusty. The Browns defense really stepped up and made this like an easy game for the offense. And the Bengals are coming off a great win, a really great win, probably their best win this whole season. They won a shootout versus Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, something that I didn't think the Bengals were going to be able to do. The Bengals are really firing on all cylinders. They look really good. They legit look like a really playoff team. They kind of look as good as they did last year. So that goes without saying, I'm going to be taking the Bengals. They look like a really good team. If they were in a shootout with the Chiefs, and yeah, it looked really good. They look perfect, honestly. And I just don't think the Browns right now are capable of competing with the Bengals. So yeah, give me the Bengals. After that is the Texans versus the Cowboys. I don't think I really got to say much about this game. Give me the Cowboys. They just destroyed Matt Ryan on Sunday Night Football. It was really disrespectful and rude what they did to him. That was awful, man. I can't believe that was Sunday night. That was awful. The Colts went out sad. And yeah, just give me the Cowboys. I feel like they can possibly do it again against the Texans because the Texans are just as bad. So yeah, give me the Cowboys for this one. After that is the Vikings versus the Lions. Now this game is actually going to be super interesting. I'm not going to lie. I love the Lions this year. I really do love the Lions this year. The Lions put up a 40 burger against the Jaguars last week. And when I was making the prediction for that game, I kind of wanted to go the Jaguars because they had that huge win against the Ravens, but I just like the Lions. You know, I like the Lions and their offense. They've been able to score the ball really effectively this year. And as we already talked about it, the Vikings were in the close game against the Jets. So this matchup is going to be the one where I take a crazy pick and I'm going to be picking the Lions. I know the Vikings have a better team, but I'm going to be picking the Lions, man. I've been riding with the Lions and they've been upsetting me a little bit, but they've been really good, man. They've been really good, better than expected, you know. And man, I just really like what the Lions are doing this year. No disrespect to the Vikings, but this is kind of just like my biased pick. I'm gonna have another biased pick later on with the Steelers, but you know, I gotta ride with the Lions this year. I'm really liking them, what they're doing over there. So yeah, give me the Lions. I know it's probably a crazy pick. It's probably not gonna happen because I think that Kirk Cousins, the Vikings, they could probably take advantage of their defense. You know, the Lions don't have a great defense, so they could probably take advantage of them. But yeah, I just like the Lions for this matchup, I guess. So yeah, give me the Lions. After that is the Eagles versus the Giants. The Giants had a tie this week against the Commanders, and in that game, both the Commanders and the Giants didn't look really that good. You know, they tied. You know, that's how the game went. That's the type of vibe that both teams were on. They weren't good enough to win, and the Eagles put up a masterclass performance against the Titans. Jalen Hurts is looking like a unanimous MVP this season. So I think it goes without saying who I'm going to pick, but I'll just say it anyway, so it's on record. I am taking the Eagles. After that is probably the best rivalry in NFL history, a divisional game, the Ravens versus the Steelers. So at the time of recording, it is unknown if Lamar Jackson's going to play. It's more of a week-to-week thing. However, it is looking unlikely that he will play, and it's probably going to be Huntley at quarterback. So this is huge for the Steelers because I feel like this is the best chance at winning this game. The Steelers are coming off that win against the Falcons where it was kind of sus. You know, I won't lie, like they should have won that game by a lot more, but things didn't go their way, and the game plan just kind of didn't really have it for them to really score more points. The Steelers could have easily lost that game if the Falcons were any better. And one of the biggest topics of that game was George Pickens. I already talked about it in the Steelers recap, so if you're interested in that, make sure you go check out that video. But in the video, I just talked about how George Pickens was upset, and I feel like he was more upset that he wasn't contributing to the offense and helping them win the game. And this week against the Ravens, I think that George Pickens will be involved more heavily. Even as a rookie, he's very impactful and helps Kenny Pickett a lot. And yeah, when it comes to the Ravens, even though Huntley's good, I don't think that they're going to be able to win this game. Even with Lamar Jackson and at quarterback, the Ravens have been just okay. They haven't looked amazing like I think a lot of us really expected, especially myself. I had high hopes for the Ravens this year, and they haven't really succeeded at those at all. They have been just okay. So yeah, I'm going to be taking the Steelers this game. I just feel like the Steelers have a little bit momentum. So yeah, give me the Steelers. I'm going to ride with my team, the Steelers. After that is the Jaguars versus the Titans. I already talked about it, but the Jaguars are coming off a really bad loss, embarrassing loss to the Lions. They only put up 14 points in that game, and the Titans are coming off an embarrassing loss as well, only putting up 10 points against the Eagles. However, this matchup is very easy to pick. I'm going to be picking the Titans. They have the better team, and they've been better this whole season. It's just kind of surprising that they lost so bad against the Eagles because everybody thought it was going to be a good matchup, and Jalen Hurts just said nope. So yeah, for this game, just give me the Titans. I like them a lot more than I do like the Jaguars. The Jaguars have been just so iffy. They have a good win and then they followed up with a loss, or like a losing streak. So yeah, just give me the Titans for this one. I think they have a bounce back game, especially against a weaker opponent. After that is the Chiefs versus the Broncos. The Broncos are coming off a 1-point loss, an awful loss to the Ravens, dude. It came down to a miracle the Ravens won that game. It's kind of crazy. The Broncos were winning that game for a pretty long time with only 9 points, and the Ravens came down the field and scored a touchdown, and the Broncos couldn't respond. And we already talked about it, but the Chiefs are coming off that loss to the Bengals. So yeah, they just kind of got outplayed. However, for this game, I think this is going to be a cakewalk for the Chiefs. I mean, the Broncos are not good. Offensively, they cannot score the ball at all. So yeah, just give me the Chiefs. It should be a very easy game for them, even though the Broncos have a good defense. I just like the Chiefs. They have more offensive power. After that is the Panthers versus the Seahawks. For this game, I'm going to be taking the Seahawks. I think it's very easy for me to pick this one. The Seahawks have been just a really good team. You know, they had that close game with the Rams, but I feel like they've just been a better team. They've been more consistent. There is that issue with Geno Smith and Kenneth Walker on the sideline. I don't think that's going to be anything really. So just give me the Seahawks. The Panthers have been so up and down, mostly down. So yeah, give me the Seahawks for this one. After that is the Buccaneers versus the 49ers. This game is going to be very, very interesting. We all know that Tom Brady has had ties with the 49ers. And as I already mentioned at the start of the show, Jimmy G is out. So it's going to come down to Purdy leading the offense. I think he did a pretty decent job against the Dolphins. Now we know the Dolphins don't have a good defense, but I think he did a decent job, a serviceable job against the Dolphins. He didn't really make any game-changing mistakes. And the Broncos are coming off a very crazy win, a Monday night win. I thought the Saints game was going to be awful, and it was kind of awful until the fourth quarter, where Tom Brady had that game-winning drive. Throughout the game, the Buccaneers looked pretty bad, I won't lie. Just the same mistakes that they've been making all year, dropped balls, and then when Tom Brady gets pressured, he has to rush out of the pocket, and he's not a good out-of-pocket scrambler or anything. So yeah, it just looked all bad for the Buccaneers again. But like I said, they pulled off that game-winning drive, and it was pretty awesome. Offensively, this game is going to be pretty rough. We got to see if Purdy can lead an offense again, and we got to see how Tom Brady does with the 49ers defense. I like Purdy in the 49ers offense a lot more than I do like the Buccaneers offense with Brady against the 49ers defense, if I'm being honest. So yeah, it is kind of crazy, but I'm going to be taking Purdy in the 49ers, mainly because the 49ers defense, I feel like they're just going to make it a horrible day for Tom Brady. After that is Sunday Night Football, and it is the Dolphins versus the Chargers. As we talked about, both teams are coming off L's. So this is going to be a bounce back game for both teams. The Chargers are in the hunt for a playoff spot, and losing to the 49ers didn't help, so they got to win out. And I'm sure the Dolphins and Tua just want to forget that loss and have a bounce back game against the Chargers. So yeah, this one's going to be very interesting. I'm going to be taking the Dolphins and Tua. I like their offense still. You know, they faced a really tough defense, and that's why they stumbled. The Chargers don't have a great defense, so I think Dolphins and Tua are going to look how they looked previously. However, I do think that Justin Herbert will be able to take care of the Dolphins defense because, like I already said, we know the Dolphins don't have a great defense. They've been able to step it up a little bit, but like they proved against the 49ers that their defense has their limits. I think this one's going to be kind of close, and honestly, I feel like Justin Herbert, he makes games close, you know? He may not be able to win those games, but he does make them close. We saw in the Raiders game where he just scrambled to the right and then he threw a long bomb to Keenan Allen, and I feel like that can happen in this game against the Dolphins. So yeah, I think it's going to be very close. I'm leaning Dolphins, but I feel like the Chargers can win it. I'm very flip-floppy on this one, but you know, give me the Dolphins. I'll take them probably by like 3 points, a touchdown, who knows. I'll be taking the Dolphins for this game. And lastly, we end the week with Monday Night Football, the Patriots versus the Cardinals. I don't know why the Patriots keep on getting primetime games. They're not that good, you know. Offensively, they're not that good. We just saw last week that Mac Jones was pretty mad at their offensive coordinator because they weren't pushing the ball down the field. So offensively, they haven't been really good. And the Cardinals this year haven't been good as well. Just as a team, they haven't been good. Something about this Cardinals team just doesn't really strike me as like a winning club. However, I will be taking the Cardinals this week. I just don't really like the Patriots, what they're doing. Defensively, they're going to be a struggle for Kyler Murray and just the offense in general, and the receivers getting open and stuff, and the run game. But I just think that I feel like they're going to find a way. You know, I think, like I said, the offensive power of the Patriots isn't really good. So unless they come out with a crazy game plan, I just don't really expect them to, you know, be able to put touchdowns on the board like I kind of expect or really want the Cardinals to do. So yeah, I'm going to be taking the Cardinals. I just feel like I'd like them a little bit more. And yeah, that is week 14. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment. Tell me what your favorite matchup of the week is. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.